What if the real secret to handling life's toughest moments wasn't something new at all, but something discovered more than 2,000 years ago? Imagine moving through your days with a quiet strength that no setback, no criticism, and no unexpected storm could easily disturb. That kind of steady power isn't a fantasy, it's the practical wisdom of Stoicism. Stoicism was born in the noisy streets and public squares of ancient Greece and Rome, yet its lessons feel more relevant today than ever. At its heart, this philosophy reminds us that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can always choose how we respond. In a world that often feels unpredictable and overwhelming, these ancient teachings offer something rare: a clear path toward resilience, purpose, and lasting peace of mind. Stoicism isn't about ignoring your feelings or pretending everything is fine. It's about understanding your emotions, directing your energy wisely, and living with intention no matter what life brings. Whether you're dealing with daily stress, major disappointments, or simply wanting to feel more grounded and joyful, the ideas we're about to explore can genuinely change how you experience each day. If this journey interests you, I'd love for you to subscribe, share this video with someone who needs it, and hit the like button. Stay with me until the end. Every principle we discuss is a practical tool you can start using right away. 1. Focusing on what's in your control. Think about the last time something small ruined your mood. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, your phone lit up with an unkind message, or plans fell apart at the last minute. These moments happen to everyone. The difference lies in how we handle them. Stoicism gives us a simple but powerful filter. Separate what you can control from what you cannot. The philosopher Epictetus captured this perfectly when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Traffic, other people's opinions, sudden changes in plans, these things lie outside our power. We can waste enormous energy fighting them, or we can redirect that energy toward the only thing we truly own: our response. Modern psychology echoes the same truth. Carl Jung wrote, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." When you accept this, everything shifts. Instead of spiraling over a delayed meeting or a rude comment, you can pause, breathe, and choose a calmer, more useful reaction. Picture this: you're stuck in heavy traffic and already late. One path leads to honking, cursing, and rising blood pressure. The other path is to accept the situation and use the time listening to something meaningful, planning your next steps, or simply resting your mind. The traffic stays the same. Your experience of it changes completely. This principle reaches far beyond traffic jams. It applies to how we handle criticism, unexpected setbacks, and even our own goals. Marcus Aurelius put it clearly: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The next time something frustrates you, ask one honest question: is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. If the answer is yes, focus there. This single habit can dramatically lower stress and return a sense of calm and agency to your life. 2. Embracing obstacles as opportunities. Most of us instinctively treat obstacles as problems to avoid or complain about. Stoicism invites us to see them differently, as raw material for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote one of the most powerful lines in Stoic literature: "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the very thing blocking your path can become the path itself. When you face rejection, failure, or conflict, your first reaction might be disappointment or self-doubt. But what if you paused and asked, "What can this teach me?" That small shift turns pain into progress. Consider someone who keeps getting turned down for jobs. Instead of seeing no as proof of inadequacy, they can treat it as data. Maybe their application needs sharpening. Maybe they need to build a new skill or approach different companies. The rejections become teachers rather than verdicts. The same applies to difficult relationships or unexpected problems at work. Every challenge carries a lesson about patience, communication, creativity, or resilience. Carl Jung observed that what you resist persists. When we stop fighting reality and start learning from it, obstacles lose their power over us and begin working for us instead. This doesn't mean challenges suddenly feel easy. It means we stop meeting them with resistance and start meeting them with curiosity. That change in posture makes us wiser and stronger over time. 3. Living in the present moment. We hear the phrase, "live in the now." so often that it can start to sound like a cliché. Yet the Stoics understood something profound. The present moment is the only place life actually happens. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment." When our thoughts constantly race ahead to worries or drift backward into regrets, we miss the only time we truly have right now. Why is presence so difficult? Because our minds are trained to scan for problems. We replay old conversations or rehearse future ones. This mental noise steals our attention from the life unfolding in front of us. Aristotle linked presence to eudaimonia, a deep sense of flourishing. When you give your full attention to eating a meal, walking outside, or listening to someone you care about, ordinary moments become meaningful. Carl Jung noted that even small things gain significance when we actually experience them. Practicing presence doesn't require special equipment. It starts with simple acts: tasting your food instead of scrolling, noticing the sky on your way to work, or giving someone your complete attention during a conversation. Seneca reminded us that true happiness comes from enjoying the present without anxious dependence on the future. You don't have to abandon planning or reflection. You simply stop letting them hijack the current moment. Life is happening here, in this breath, in this conversation, in this task. The more fully you meet it, the richer your days become. 4. Building self-discipline. Self-discipline often gets misunderstood as punishment or rigid restriction. In reality, it's one of the kindest things you can do for your future self. At its core, self-discipline means aligning your daily choices with your long-term values instead of chasing whatever feels good in the moment. It's the ability to say yes to what matters and no to what doesn't, even when it's uncomfortable. The Stoics saw this as essential to freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Seneca taught that we should master our desires rather than be mastered by them. When you can regulate your impulses, you stop being pulled in every direction by cravings, distractions, or other people's expectations. Aristotle believed excellence comes through repeated practice. Small, consistent actions: choosing water over soda, putting the phone away to focus on work, going for a walk when you feel like scrolling, slowly rewire who you are becoming. You don't need dramatic overhauls. Pick one area: your health, your focus, your spending, or your relationship. Set a modest target and practice it daily. Epictetus observed that no great thing is created suddenly. Self-discipline grows through repetition, not intensity. Over time, these choices compound. You begin to trust yourself more. Your confidence rises not because everything goes perfectly, but because you keep showing up for the person you're trying to become. 5. Developing emotional resilience. Strong emotions are part of being human. Anger, sadness, anxiety, and frustration will visit everyone. Emotional resilience isn't about never feeling these things, it's about how quickly and wisely you recover from them. The Stoics understood that while events are often outside our control, our response to those events is not. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When a wave of emotion hits, the first step is simply to notice it without immediate judgment. Give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. Then create a small gap between the feeling and your reaction. In that gap lies your freedom. Aristotle spoke of the golden mean, finding balance rather than swinging between extremes. You don't have to suppress emotions or let them run wild. You can acknowledge them, understand what they're telling you, and then choose a response that serves you and the people around you. Carl Jung emphasized the importance of integrating all parts of ourselves. Emotional resilience grows when we stop seeing difficult feelings as enemies and start treating them as messengers. Journaling, talking with a trusted person, or simply taking a few conscious breaths can help us process emotions instead of being controlled by them. Resilience isn't a fixed trait. It's a skill built through practice. Every time you meet a strong emotion with awareness instead of reactivity, you strengthen your capacity to handle whatever comes next. 6. Memento Mori. Remember you will die. The Stoics practice Memento Mori, remembering that we will die not to create fear, but to create urgency and gratitude. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." When you keep the reality of death in mind, small annoyances lose their grip. Procrastination becomes harder to justify. You become more willing to say what matters, spend time with people you love, and pursue what actually feels meaningful. Seneca warned against wasting life on trivial concerns. Epictetus encouraged living each day as if it might be your last, not in panic, but in purposeful present. This awareness helps us stop postponing joy or important conversations for a someday that may never arrive. You don't need to think about death constantly. You simply let the knowledge of life's brevity guide your priorities. It becomes easier to let go of grudges, to take the trip, to have the difficult conversation, and to appreciate ordinary moments that will never come again. Living with Memento Mori doesn't make life darker. It makes life sharper, more vivid, and more precious. 7. Practicing gratitude. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most transformative practices available to us. The Stoics understood that happiness doesn't come from acquiring more, it comes from truly valuing what's already here. Marcus Aurelius began many mornings by reminding himself how fortunate he was simply to be alive, to breathe, to think, and to love. Seneca observed that endless craving for more blinds us to the abundance already surrounding us. Epictetus taught his students to appreciate whatever circumstances they found themselves in. Modern research confirms what the Stoics knew. People who practice gratitude regularly report lower anxiety, better sleep, and greater overall life satisfaction. Carl Jung noted that happiness loses meaning without its contrast with difficulty. Gratitude helps us hold both. A practical way to build this habit is to name 3 things you're grateful for each morning or evening. They don't have to be grand: a hot cup of tea, a message from a friend, the way sunlight falls across the floor. Over time, this practice retrains your attention toward what's good. Gratitude also changes how we meet challenges. Instead of only asking, "Why is this happening?" we can ask, "What might this be teaching me?" Or, "What hidden gift might exist here?" This doesn't deny pain. It simply refuses to let pain be the whole story. 8. Focusing on personal excellence. The Stoics believe that the highest goal in life is to live with virtue and excellence. Marcus Aurelius put it directly, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Personal excellence isn't about being better than others. It's about becoming the clearest, most capable version of yourself. It means setting standards based on your own values rather than external comparison. Seneca emphasized continuous self-improvement through learning and reflection. Epictetus taught that our thoughts, reactions, and choices are the areas where we can truly excel. Aristotle reminded us that excellence is the result of deliberate practice over time. In daily life, this looks like showing up consistently, keeping your word, treating people with respect even when it's difficult, and taking responsibility for your growth. It also means being honest about your weaknesses, while refusing to use them as excuses. A growth mindset supports this journey. When you believe abilities can be developed through effort, setbacks become information rather than verdicts. You stop needing to be perfect and start focusing on steady progress. Living with personal excellence is ultimately an act of self-respect. It's choosing, day after day, to become someone you can be proud of. 9. Not caring what others think. In an age of constant social comparison, one of the most liberating Stoic lessons is learning to care less about other people's opinions. Marcus Aurelius observed how strange it is that people value their own judgment so little, while caring so deeply about the judgments of others. Your worth is not determined by likes, comments, approval, or disapproval. It is determined by how you live, by your integrity, your effort, and your kindness. Seneca taught that living according to your own principles brings a deeper contentment than chasing external validation ever could. Epictetus pointed out that other people's opinions lie outside your control. Worrying about them is a misuse of your limited energy. The freedom comes when you shift your focus to what you can actually influence, your own character and action. This doesn't mean ignoring all feedback. It means discerning between useful input and noise. It means building an inner compass strong enough that you can hear criticism without collapsing and praise without becoming arrogant. When you stop performing for an audience, you become free to live more authentically. And ironically, that authenticity often attracts the right people and opportunities anyway. 10. Accepting change. Change is the only constant. The Stoics accepted this reality instead of fighting it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" Resistance to change creates unnecessary suffering. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity, it means working with reality rather than against it. Seneca warned that clinging too tightly to any situation sets us up for disappointment when life inevitably shifts. Epictetus taught us to focus on our attitude toward change rather than trying to control the change itself. When we do this, we become more adaptable, creative, and resilient. Mindfulness helps here. When you stay present, you notice change as it's happening instead of being shocked by it later. You can also look for the lessons and opportunities hidden inside every transition. Change can feel threatening, but it is also the mechanism through which life renews itself. The more gracefully we move with it, the more open we become to new experiences, growth, and unexpected gifts. 11. Practicing compassion and empathy. The Stoics understood that humans are social creatures. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." Our well-being is connected to the well-being of others. Compassion and empathy aren't signs of weakness. They are expressions of strength and wisdom. Seneca encouraged extending understanding even to difficult people, recognizing that everyone acts from their own limited perspective and pain. Epictetus taught the value of trying to see situations through other people's eyes, without necessarily agreeing with their behavior. This doesn't mean excusing harm. It means responding from a place of clarity rather than blind reaction. In practice, compassion shows up in small ways: truly listening, offering a kind word, giving someone the benefit of the doubt, or simply remembering that every person you meet is carrying their own invisible burdens. Aristotle linked deep friendship with shared joy and shared sorrow. When we practice empathy, we strengthen our relationships and also reduce our own isolation. Modern psychology confirms that caring for others improves our own mental and emotional health. A more compassionate world begins with small, consistent choices to treat people with dignity, including ourselves. 12. Reflecting and reviewing regularly. The Stoics considered regular self-examination essential for a good life. Marcus Aurelius used his famous meditation as a tool for honest self-assessment. Seneca recommended reviewing each day like a play, asking whether we performed our roles well. Epictetus advised his students to end every evening with 3 questions. What did I do well? What did I do poorly? What did I leave undone? This wasn't about harsh self-criticism. It was about learning and adjusting course. In our fast-moving world, taking even 5 minutes at the end of the day to reflect can be transformative. You can notice patterns in your behavior, celebrate small wins, and identify where you want to improve. Writing these reflections down makes them more powerful. Approach this practice with kindness. The goal isn't perfection. It's awareness and gradual growth. Aristotle believed that an examined life leads to wisdom. Regular reflection helps us live more intentionally instead of drifting on autopilot. Over time, this habit creates a quiet confidence. You know yourself better. You catch unhelpful patterns earlier. You make decisions more aligned with the person you're trying to become. Conclusion: integrating Stoicism into your life. The 12 principles we've explored aren't distant historical ideas. They are practical tools for living well in the present moment. They help us reduce unnecessary suffering, respond to challenges with greater strength, and build lives of meaning and integrity. Stoicism doesn't promise a life without difficulty. It offers something better: the ability to meet difficulty without losing yourself. When you focus on what you can control, embrace obstacles as teachers, stay present, practice discipline, build emotional resilience, remember life's brevity, cultivate gratitude, pursue excellence, care less about others' opinions, accept change, extend compassion, and reflect regularly, you become someone who can navigate almost anything with grace. Each of these practices is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. Together they create something strong, beautiful, and uniquely yours. Thank you for spending this time exploring Stoic wisdom with me. If this video resonated with you, subscribe for more content like this, share it with someone who might need it, and keep practicing. The real transformation happens not while watching, but in the small choices you make afterward. Until next time, remember, you don't have to be perfect. You simply have to keep showing up for the life you want to live, one thoughtful response at a time. Take care.